So we saw the beautiful Venu Geetam of Krishna or Venuganam. It's beautifully described by Shuka Brahmam, the beauty of the song of the flute and how that stopped everyone right there. We saw that some of the verses are very beautiful. He says here, Venor Adhara Sudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrindair Vrindaranyam Swapada Ramanam Pravishad. Every word is very beautiful. He says, Venor Adhara Sudhaya. Adhara means the lips of Krishna. Sudha means the nectar. So that is the basis on which the great Vallabhacharya wrote the famous Madhurashtakam beginning with Adharam Madhuram. So that reference to Adharam comes from here. Shuka Brahmam writes, Venor Adhara Sudhaya. The Venu, the flute, is touched by the nectar of the lips of Krishna, filled with it Purayan, Vrindaranyam Swapada Ramanam Pravishat. So with his own feet, he enters giving happiness. Ramanam, Ramana means happiness. Ramayati iti Ramanaha. So Ramana, the word itself means happiness. And here that word is used beautifully by Shuka Brahmam, saying Swapada Ramanam. He gives happiness to Vrindavanam with every step. He further says, that's why in another verse he says, Gopyaha kim acharad ayam kushalam sma venur damodara adhara sudamapi gopikanam. So they say that the Venu, the flute, is touched by this nectar, Adhara Sudha, and they say that this is the wealth of the Gopikas. So the Gopis feel that's why that they are jealous of the flute because the flute is being touched by the nectar of Krishna, and then they are jealous of the bamboo, as we saw. They are jealous of the river. With their love for Krishna, they see everything around that are getting the blessings of Krishna, and they wish they can be in that place. They can be the flute, they can be the bamboo tree, they can be the river, they can be the bees that are swarming around him when he is singing. They can be the birds that are sitting up on the perch of the tree below which he is sitting and singing. And they say every aspect of nature that is there is fortunate. They are all listening. It says here beautifully, Vrindavanam Saki Bhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim Yat Devaki Suta Padambuja Abdha Lakshmi Govinda Venum Anumatta Mayura Nrityam. So the Mayura, the peacocks, are dancing out of this joy in Vrindavana, and they say the cows are listening to this Venu Geetam. It says Gavascha Krishna Mukha Nirgata Venur Geeta Piyusham. So they are drinking the nectar of the sound of this music into their ears. The cows are listening it through their ears and standing transfixed, overflowing with milk for their calves. The peacocks are dancing, and it is said that though it's autumn and the monsoon season is over, a gentle cloud has come to protect from the hot sun that has come back in autumn and give us shade. So in this way, all of nature, he says again beautifully, the river too, instead of its rapid flow, it comes near where Krishna is playing the flute, and it is swirling there like a whirlpool, just rotating so that they can listen more to this play of the flute. So all of this is described by the Gopikas, as we already saw. And then the autumn season is over, and then winter comes. And when the first month of winter comes, it's called Margasirsha. It's a very auspicious month, as we know. In Gita 2, Krishna says, Masana Maham Margasirsha, what's called as Margari or Margasirsha, the month which is auspicious for all spiritual activities even now. That's why no secular activities are done in that month. It's dedicated fully to devotional activities. So in that month, in the first month of Margasirsha, all the Vrija Gopikas, they this year, having been in love with Krishna so much, they have taken a vow to spend this entire month, which is cold, taking a dip in the waters of Yamuna early in the morning and praying to the Divine Mother Katyayani, who is Parvati. So they take this vow that they will go every day in the morning in the cold, take a dip in the waters of Yamuna, pray to the Divine Mother, and their only prayer is, may Krishna be our consort. They say, Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayogini Adhishwari Nandagopa Sutam Devi Patim Me Kuru Te Namaha. They say, make Nandagopa Sutta, the son of the Nandagopa, son of Nanda, Patim Me Kuru, make him my consort, make him my beloved, my husband. This is my only prayer to you, O Mother Katyayani Mahamaye. So this is echoed, as many are aware, beautifully by Godha Devi or Andal. This is exactly what Andal sung in her prayers in Tirupavai, which is also sung in Margari. 30 prayers, one prayer for each day, where in fact she uses the exact expression Shukha Brahmam uses. Here he says, Nandagopa Sutam Devim Devi Patim Me Kuru. There also she says, Nandagopan Kumaran. That's how she refers to Krishna in the very first song of Tirupavai. And in the exact same spirit, that's why Tirupavai also, she gets up early in the morning, wakes up all the other girls, takes them all to the banks of Yamuna, takes a dip in the waters of Yamuna, and prays to the mother for the exact same prayer. So this is what Shukha Brahmam describes beautifully. All the gopis doing this every morning. They get up every morning. It's very cold. In Vrindavan, if one has gone there in the winter time, it's quite cold. And the waters are very cold. These are glacial waters too. So Yamuna is very cold. And so they take a dip in the Yamuna every morning in this way. And Krishna is aware of their prayers. And on the last day, it is said, it happens to be full moon. On the last day, which is the full moon day, when they offer their prayers, they've kept all their clothes away and they're all taking a dip in the waters. And here comes a very mystical episode of Bhagavatam, which is also very famous. So normally, when we go to Bhagavan, when we pray to Bhagavan, we think we offer everything, but we still hold on to some attachment. It can be a very subtle attachment of any kind. It can be attachment for one's own body or one's relation or position or anything, or the sense of just being alive for life. There is attachment of some kind that we are having, which we are covering ourselves when we go to Bhagavan, and we are not ready to let go of that attachment. And when that last attachment goes only, our surrender is complete. Even if we think we are surrendering to Bhagavan, we still hold on to some last attachment. And that attachment is signified as the cloth we wear. So we cover ourselves with something in order to not expose ourselves fully and completely to Bhagavan. So when we are fully surrendered, then we offer ourselves completely naked to Bhagavan. We do not hide anything, we surrender everything. So this principle is beautifully symbolized by this episode, which is famously known as the Vastra Haranam. So when Krishna comes to this 30th day, the last day, which is the full moon day, he wants to bless all these gopis and remove their last trace of attachment and bless them with full surrender. So he takes away their clothes when they are bathing in the river, takes them, climbs them to the top of a Kadamba tree nearby, and he is there. And from there he says to all the gopis, you come here and get your clothes. So they are in the river, they are very cold, so they say beautifully, Shyama Sundara te dasya karavama tavoditam dehi vasamsi dharmagya noche dragne bruvamihe. So they say, O Shyama Sundara, the most beautiful Krishna, te dasya karavama, we are ready to do anything you say, but please give us the clothes. And Krishna says to them, if you are ready to do anything, then surrender yourself fully and give and come here and take the clothes. Bhavatyo yedime dasyo mayoktam va karishyata atra agatya svavasamsi pratichantu shuchismitaha. Come with a smile and take these clothes by coming here and thereby show that you truly mean what you say. And so these ladies, they are so fully surrendered to Krishna. They want nothing other than him, and so they are ready to listen to him completely. So they let go of that last bit of attachment they have, and they come one by one, and Krishna gives them the clothes and then blesses them that your prayers are fully heard and it will be fully answered in the next autumn, Sharad Ritu. So as we saw, the seasons are beautifully described. In the summer season, Kaliya Mardhanam happened. Then the rainy season came, the rains were described, the monsoon. Then the autumn when Venu Geetam happened. Now we are in winter, Hemanta Ritu, when this beautiful episode happens. And the next autumn, he says, which is about 9 months away, in the Sharad Purnima, your prayers will be fully answered. That will be the most glorious Rasa Leela, which comes in a few episodes. But here Krishna blesses them that your prayers are fully answered. And thereby the gopis are completely rejoiced that Krishna has heard their prayers, and they have also surrendered to him completely without holding on to anything. So this surrender, this expression is in fact used by Ramana Maharishi in Aksharamanamalai too. This very symbolism of going naked to Bhagavan and getting grace. He says, Chirai Alithu Nirvanamai Cheidu Aruchirai Alittarul Arunachala. He says, Chirai Alithu, remove all attachments. Nirvanamai Cheidu, make me naked. Aruchirai Alithu Arul Arunachala, and then bestow me with the wealth of your grace. So that's exactly reflecting this episode, that one has to let go of all attachments, and that is to be truly naked in front of Bhagavan. And when we do that, then we are blessed with the true dress of grace, Arudshir as he calls it. So that's exactly what the gopis are blessed with here, that Krishna tells them, you are blessed in that you have completely surrendered unto me and you have listened to what I said, and therefore you will be fully blessed with the total union as you have desired in the Sharad Ritu, and that is the blessed Rasa Leela. So this episode is, that's why, very symbolic, very mystical, and one of the most beautiful episodes of Bhagavatam, which teaches us that we have to surrender completely. What it means to be naked is to not hold on to anything. We may think we are devoted to God. We may even think we are very dedicated, but we may be holding on to some attachment somewhere within us. And to strip ourselves of every single attachment and surrendering unto Bhagavan is the act of becoming naked in front of Bhagavan. That's why it said Nirvanamai Cheidu in Aksharamanamalai too. So if we truly surrender, then only we are truly naked in front of Bhagavan. And that surrender happens when we recognize that everything is Bhagavan. If we hold on to a sense of individuality, that is itself holding something away from Bhagavan. We may want to engage in sadhana, we may want to dedicate ourselves, but we still hold on to the sense of, even the very sense of existence as I am, then we are holding on to something which doesn't belong to us. So that's why, again, we saw the symbolic episode of Bali Maharaj offering his own being as Atma Nivedan. So surrendering our own existence to Bhagavan is the final surrender. So we can surrender this and that, as once remarked by Ramana Maharishi too, we can surrender all the possessions and we have to surrender the possessor too. So the possessor is the one who thinks I have these possessions, and when the possessor is surrendered, that is the very sense of existence, the sense that rises as I am, even that is recognized as coming only from the ground of being, then we are freed of all attachments, including the attachment or desire for liberation. The desire for liberation is only for the sense of I am that is still holding on to itself as separate. When that desire goes away, then there is no one left to even seek liberation. Liberation itself is seen as illusion. All there is only Bhagavan. And the entire play of the universe, every speck of it is seen as Bhagavan. To get that vision is the true wealth of grace, and that is attained by being fully stripped of all attachments. So that's the inner symbolism of Gopi Vastra Haranam. And with this episode, Shuka Brahmam instructs us on the need for complete surrender, which the Gopis were so blessed to do. That's why the Gopis, though they did not read any scriptures, they did not do any other meditation, they embody the highest surrender because they were not attached to anything whatsoever. So which is also very instructive, that it is not through knowledge, it is not through various practices that we can gain this surrender. Surrender is from the heart, and it can be done now. It doesn't need time, it doesn't need knowledge, it doesn't need thought, it doesn't need intellect. It only is a direct recognition that my very existence comes forth from Bhagavan. And that surrender is true meditation.